Peace and love. Two quick stories to lead into the important topic of post-exertional malaise. First, a friend of a friend sent me an article after hearing I was sick about an elite athlete who had cancer. Chemo, radiation, the works. I know how shitty that is from having loved ones go through it. And the point of the article was that this person was pushing through and still working out every day. The implication being from the person who sent it to me that, hey, dude, you got to get off your ass. Second story, pulmonologist. Lungs are fine, dude. You just got to get off your butt. You got to get into rehab. You got to get on the bike. You got to do a little lifting. Even kind of shame me. I've got patients much worse shape than you. And we're talking emphysema, we're talking COPD. And I'm telling you, they're in rehab 3-4 days a week. They're getting on the treadmill, they're getting on the recumbent. Come on, man. Can I sign you up now? So here's the deal. Cancer sucks, COPD, they suck. There's one thing that they don't risk experiencing when they push it, and maybe even push it too far some days. And that is post-exertional malaise. They overdo it, they go home, they rest, they get refreshing sleep, recharge the battery, they get back at it. That's not what happens to us. Here's what happens to us. Post-exertional malaise, PEM. Hey, I get it. It's a mind-boggling concept. If you haven't experienced it, quite frankly, it's mind-boggling to me 2 years into having experienced it. So in about 5 minutes here, I'm going to give you what you need to get your head around it. Let's dive in. Brief definition: severe delayed worsening of symptoms after minimal activity of any kind. I want to point out two key aspects. One, the extent of the activity is not in proportion to the degree of the symptoms, as we'll talk more about. Secondly, and this is a real challenging thing for a person like me who's a doer, an achiever, a type A, is that because symptoms are delayed, we can easily push ourselves to a point of overexertion without recognizing it until it bites us in the ass a couple of days later. So that's very challenging for many of us. So let's talk about the triggers. First, physical activity, and let's just zero in again. The athlete with the cancer, the pulmonology patients who are pushing themselves. Hey, I admire them. Chemo, whatever, it's grueling. They're drained. They get credit. I mean, that this isn't about taking credit from them or not giving them their props, but we're talking about, in our case, just brushing my freaking teeth can set it off, set me back, and put me on my back for days. Go watch my the video if you haven't already about um, me and my nail biting and how just a lifelong habit of nail biting. I quit because of how much energy it took. Mental activity. This is a hard one too. My wheels up here are always turning. Um, and I don't recognize that as exertion, but it is. It takes energy, and and I have little energy to begin with, so that's hard to quiet my mind. Social activity, friends and family. You've been understanding when I keep putting you off on phone calls. Excuse me. Yeah, it's frustrating for me too. Emotions. Hey, dealing with this condition, the isolation, how could you not feel anger? How could you not feel anxious? How could you not feel depressed? But those emotions are actually contributing to the problem. So everything feeds off each other from a physical standpoint. Sensory. I can go days without being able to turn the TV on. Just the noise, the movement, the light. And I'm extremely sensitive to fragrances, scents of any kind. My eyes burn. I have trouble breathing, lightheaded. So we have to be careful to avoid avoid those triggers. And lastly, stress, which kind of transcends all of this. Let's talk about symptoms. This is a list. I'm giving you 30 symptoms, 3 sets of 10. There are many more. This is not an exhaustive list. And the key here is the new or worsened symptoms. These are generally, for most of us, not new symptoms, but they are worsened when we're having PEM. So my question, how many of these 10 do you think I have experienced and experienced regularly? 10 out of 10. I mean, look at this list. Like any one of those things would be annoying at best and debilitating at worst, just on its own. 10 for 10. Don't want you to feel sorry for me. Just want you to understand what not only I mean, it's my face here, but I'm the face of millions. This is not my story. This is our story. This is what we are dealing with. Millions of people, your loved ones, your friends. 11 to 20. 10 more of these. I'm going to point out orthostatic because that's one that has really escalated for me in the last 7 months. And it's been a real game changer in a negative way because I really need to be in bed a lot more, or at a minimum sitting, the orthostatic issues. But anyway, how many of the 10 does David have? 10 for 10 again. Batting 1,000, 20 for 20. Wish I wasn't. Finally, the final 10. How many of these am I dealing with? Well, in this case, there's one that I have definitely not experienced, which is ringing in the ears. And then temporary paralysis, I think that's iffy. I don't think I've felt been paralyzed from a neurological sense, but from a debilitating fatigue standpoint, there have been many times where I've gone hours where I've been essentially motionless. So yeah. Basic definition, the triggers, common symptoms, all you need to know. All you need to know. So there you have it. my crash course on post-exertional malaise. And for those who didn't get it, when we overexert and pay a price for it with PEM, we call that crashing. So, pun intended. Just want to wrap up by saying again, cancer fucking sucks. COPD, emphysema suck. Not saying what we have is worse, but I am saying what we have is different. And that the main difference that I want people to understand, appreciate, and take into consideration in their interactions with us, whether you're a friend, family, physician, is PEM, post-exertional malaise. Wouldn't wish it on anybody. Peace and love.